Hello. That was probably very loud. I'd like to welcome you to my first ever episode of Village Idiot Astrology. The reason I've decided to title this channel Village Idiot Astrology is literally because if I was caught saying any of the things that I will be saying on this channel out loud, I would have been burned at the stake many, many years ago. I recognize that. You recognize that you are here because you too partake in some practices that you too would be found to be an idiot on the street. So let's both agree we're both stupid and let's walk away knowing that all of this is theoretical, right? We understand that. Okay. Hi. Hello there. It's me, your favorite village idiot town crier. I'm like Cassandra in the streets and Lilith in the sheets. No, I'm kidding. Bye. So, literally, picture me like as if I was on the street screaming into the air, and you can listen or not. You know what I mean? Take what you want, take what you will, but I will not be taking disrespect. That's my bottom line. Okay. You understand that now. I was very much inspired by Miss Charlotte Astrology. So if you don't watch any other astrologer, she's pretty good. I like her format. So, in the words of Pablo Picasso, good artists borrow, great artists steal. So today, I'm stealing her PowerPoint format, but I have arranged it in a minimalist beige, 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 beige. No one will be offended. You will not be offended. You will not be offended. A beige format so that we can all sort of take it together. Now, okay, I noticed that Miss Gabriette, okay, she has been engaged to Matty Healey from the 1975 for a minute. Now, if you go on YouTube, all you ever see is people talk about Mr. Rat Boy. Every pretty princess needs a rat boy, and T Swizzle, T Pizzle. I'm like 8'4" blonde hair to the ground. Best Taylor Swift song, Thug Story featuring T Pain. Yes, it's real. No, it's not AI. Look it up. That's a real song. That's the best song that she's ever put out. Okay? Bye. All right. So without further ado, because nobody else has touched this for whatever reason, even though she's a baddie, baddie alert, baddie alert, baddie alert, baddie alert, baddie alert, uh, baddie alert, nobody has touched the actual fiance of Rat Boy himself. So today I'm gonna go ahead and knowing what I know about astrology and what you are learning about astrology, because I actually read degree theory. Yes, cover to cover. Yes, I read Degree Theory by Nicholas Sandov, the doctor mathematician himself. So I'm going to incorporate that today. Also, I am starting off with this reading because Miss Gabrielle here has the exact same birthday as me. Yes, I am not kidding. So I am hoping that I can also give you some input about what it's been like to live here, there. Yes. Yes. Because when I see Miss Thing, I'm like, yeah. Mm. So today, she is me. I see her. And ironically, a lot of our lives have been similar. So today, I am hoping to incorporate a little bit of extra. Now I'm getting a phone call from my best friend. I will call you back. That's T. That's interesting that that came up. And I will tell you why in a minute. Anyway, let's get it going. Okay. To start us off, I have the Apple Pencil. Yes. 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 I know. Okay. Make the Apple Pencil work. So I exported it to a PDF. Here we go. Okay. Once again, hopefully this is showing up. That's her birthday. April is his. Okay. Oh, yeah. Village Idiot was here. That's me. Okay. Him. Let's start. So we're going to start with degree theory, which is always a great place to start to kind of give us an idea of any noteworthy moments that are sticking out to me immediately. So the first thing I tend to look for is there anything at the fifth degree or second degree? Let's look. Yes, he has a second degree north node. Oh my god. And he has a second degree Chiron. No fifth degree items. Okay, let's talk. So the second degree, according to the degree theory, literally is the power degree of fame. Okay, big fame, high fame, stanky fame. Okay. Now, North Node is the destiny. Destiny at the second degree of fame. Unbelievably, this North Node, hello? Stop playing with me. Unbelievably, this North Node right up here, which is at the second degree in Pisces, is literally in the 11th house, which is of groups, fame, outer realm friends and connections and people. It's considered The 5th and 11th house, despite being in opposition, are considered really good placement houses, and 6th and 12th are considered bad luck placements. Now, he has a Sun, Venus, Mercury bad luck. We will get there in a moment. Don't worry. So the North Node is at the 2nd degree, fame. The point is for him to be famous at the worldwide level, 11th house. That's popularity. The top of your chart is what the world sees versus the bottom of your chart, which is your internal life and your home. Okay. So that North Node, Neptune. Let's look to Neptune, shall we? I like for Pisces to look at Neptune and Jupiter because the traditional rulership of Pisces is actually Jupiter. I think that the placement borrows from both, so I'm going to look at both. So, first one I want to look at is Neptune. Where is Neptune? The 9th house, conjunct Saturn. He learns his greatest lessons and achieves his greatest dreams together. They are in tandem. They are one and the same. He cannot do one without the other. They are literally connected. And fog around the fog placement of Neptune, foggy lessons, trouble with lessons. That's like not a great conjunction, especially with Uranus there and Vesta. He is protective over his Uranian ability. He is protective over how strange he is. He is cagey about his need to experience the 9th house, the need to go out and about, all of this conjunct MC. So all of this is evident on his job as well. It starts to feel like with Psyche in the 10th house, he built his way up Capricorn rulership with Capricorn at what degree? 22. That's the Capricorn degree. So he has quite literally worked his way up from here the entire way from the bottom to the top. And I think he definitely has issues around that as well. And considering that in his mind, it's very lonely. The Saturn placement being there too with Neptune makes it even though it rules Saturn, it makes all these placements have like an artist aspect. For example, learning your greatest lessons at a underground studio where you're playing a basement show for 30 people in Brighton, England. You know what I mean? Kind of that's what this placement is. But you learn your shit because you get your shit kicked out of you in the pit. Let's take a look also at what it involves. So we can see that it is in a sextile to Neptune in the 6th house. So that's work explosions. What's his Neptune placement? I'm sorry. What is the placement of Pluto degree? It is at, it what looks to be 14 degrees. Yeah. So this is actually love. So this is Taurus, the Taurus degree, 14 degrees of love, which I will get into as well. And I want to look specifically in this case also because the 2nd degree is Neptune, and we look to that in the 9th house. So exploration is literally the purpose, is to learn through the arts and become famous and enjoy exploration. Now let's look to Jupiter. Jupiter, 1st house, which means that on his body, he has a very Jupiterian way about him. People assume he's Zeus-like. They assume that he is bossy and that he cheats and that he is like all of the things that you would, and also is blessed, very lucky person, and is a sex symbol. So all of those things are associated. You have to think about the mythology of these characters instead of just taking them as the very bastardized. That's a lucky placement. Yes, it is. But Zeus was king of the gods. So yeah. Is it lucky? Is it lucky or is it like control ownership? Like that's where your person is at. And it is in the 1st house, evident on his person. You know what else is in the 1st house or conjunct the ascendant? Is his moon. Emo luck. Yes. A person with that moon ascendancy conjunction, their emotions and their emotional life are evident on them. They lead emotional plane first, and what they look like, what you see is what you get. There is an agreement here in what it is. And that is part of the draw. Especially in Taurus. Moon in Taurus is the height of Taurus. It loves this placement. So despite him being wrought in all these other ways, like this ascendant being at 20 degrees, so this very also scorpionic degree. So he has all of these Scorpio, transformative, addictive, intense, all of these aspects in Taurus, which ironically also Moon Taurus is rulership over singers. And because Taurus is the throat, so the moon Taurus, that's the height of Taurus. Are you seeing what I'm putting down? Are you seeing what I'm putting down? I'm pretty sure he has an Ashwini moon. I'm pretty sure he's Ashwini. I would guess. I would guess. Yes. Underline yes. It's either that or be Baharani. So it's either Ashwini or Baharani. And both of those placements belong to very famous singers. Baharani is Christina Aguilera, and Ashwini is like Tyson Ritter from All American Rejects, Jared Leto, and a bunch of other of this very emo boy variety. So I would assume that it would be because you're saying to yourself, "Oh, village idiot, astrology cannot possibly dictate how you look, diva, honey. You got a big storm coming." If you need proof, you can go ahead and you can look up Claire Nocte. Claire Nocte, the astrologer, she basically has a doctorate. If you need to be proven that people look like their astrological placements. So if I had to guess, is he closer to a Christina Aguilera and Lindsay Lohan, or is he closer to a Tyson Ritter, Jared Leto? You be the judge of that. But I think the answer would be the first, the Ashwini, which would be the Tyson Ritter placement. But that's just me. That didn't me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Especially with the ascendancy there, it will be stanky. Very clear. But what do I know? I'm probably wrong. It's probably like Baharani. He probably is like it's probably like Moon Ashwini and then Ascendant Baharani. It's probably both. Anyway, let's go. So that's in the so Jupiter in this case is in the mercurial sign, and Mercury is in the 12th house. Now, that place is also determines the 12th house. 12th house Mercury involving when it's north node again because it's all tied. Because again, we're saying in this case that Jupiter and Neptune are determined by the Pisces rulership of the north node. So we look to both of the planets, right? And we can see where they're in, what place that they're in. So we know. So like for example, Neptune Capricorn, the job is art, the local watering hole kind of thing, but also can create confusion around real jobs. It's probably why he's so emo. Then Jupiter in Mercury, Mercury in the 12th house. Mercury in the 12th house is the rulership over poets. Yes, yes, yes. Emily Dickinson and more. Yes, yes. Look it up, look it up, look it up, 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 look it up, look it up, look it up, up, up. I'm serious. That placement is poets. And if you have heard any of Mick Boy's music, you know for a fact, for a fecundo, that he, yes, he is a poet. Indeed, indeed. In fact, I think that's what Taylor Swift, T Swizzle, T Pizzle was trying to say with her Little Miss Tortured Poets department. I'm pretty sure if I had to guess who she was talking about. Okay. You can also see he has this Chiron here. This worries me. Let's talk. This Chiron second house placement. That's a wound around money. Now, Madison Helison is a Nepo baby. So he's a Neapolitan baby. I don't understand kind of how he could have a money issue unless it's at the second degree in the Cancer sign. The second degree is what? Fame. So this is my other big problem placement because they are directly tied. Oh my God, wait, actually, look at that very fatty trine between the two placements, actually. The wound, the famous wound, is the point. He is the famous wound. He is such a fan. By the way, absolutely. If you've listened to any of the 1975 music, yes. This is how it starts. Taking shoes off in the back of my van. Pisces. Mercury in the 12th house, enclosed small spaces. Also, Mercury being a travel place. Right. But astrology is not real. Right, Diva. Okay. But let's continue. The wound, the famous wound in the second house, though, of money. I feel like that hasn't played out yet. I feel like there is more to come here. Yes, we've seen aspects of this wound, but this money wound, I think we have yet to see. I think that there's more to come, especially because I pointed out, if you look, you'll see also this big, wide, stupid vertex placement here in Libra in the 6th house. And it is completely swallowed by the other placements. Like Libra is totally lost here. I think that his future partnership is going to be involving in work. That's what this placement is kind of dictating, that there is a work aspect. But vertex being in the marriage placement, in work, meaning that something would potentially occur at this and at the 19th degree, which is also the Libra degree. So something from his own future marriage or partnership determining a life or death, because vertex is very much a volatile placement, a placement where if someone has something on your vertex, it's basically like a second descendant. in ways. It's basically like star crossing because it's such a specific small placement too. Anyway, let's continue. He also then, of course, has this south node in the fifth house, which means his previous life energy is short flings and having children and fun. And in this life, he actually needs to move out of that place that he is so already familiar and needs to move into this place of exploration of love and beauty at a famous level and of uh, artistry. The point is artistry, famous artistry, and learning lessons, Saturn through artistry in the 11th house. But it's good luck, both good luck placements. So his future is lucky, uh, but these other placements are kind of raw. For example, he has Venus, we can see here, my little baby Venus over here in Aries at the 19th degree, so at a Libran degree. So he actually likes quite a range himself, to be honest. And it is directly conjunct his Mercury at the 22nd degree of Capricorn. So this quick, dry, dark, older method of speaking and Piscean, so self-sacrificing, because this is a Pisces house, right? So self-sacrificing way of speaking, self-effacing kind of way of speaking, dry humor. Capricorn rules satire and old time movies and things. So it makes sense because I've seen some of those music videos and I'm like, oh, now I see, because there's this Capricorn influence. That's what he feels so drawn to, actually, in this case. He likes to, Neptune in with these Capricorn placements, he likes to fantasize about the days of old, like that Capricorn time period of America's very yuck, yuck, hello, my baby, hello, my honey. That's literally here. That explains the draw. Um, and then, of course, this again, Venus, as I was saying, sorry, Venus and Aries, which I have noted has quite literally always been, not to say the fuckboy placement, but a problematic placement. Just because I have noticed for myself, and I have the same birthday as Miss Girl, this thing, all, all of my previous short-term flings have had Venus in this placement. They come as quickly as they go, if you catch my drift, keeping it as PG as possible. So Venus in Aries is actually in its downfall because it much prefers to be on the opposite side in Libra. So it's in its shadow of Aries. It hates that placement in the 12th house. So boundless love, love without boundaries, falling in love with people you should not be falling in love with, people in partnerships, people with addictions, people with issues. All of those things are drawn this placement. Yes. And you can also see in this super tasty sextile to this Mars, Mars placement, in Gemini, girl, diva, diva, he's slinging it with part of fortune, diva, please, 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 at a Scorpio degree. He is rewarded when he is devious. He is rewarded when he has improper boundaries with sex. Yes, that's what that is. Part of fortune acts as mini Jupiter, and Jupiter is the great expander. The great expander next to Dick being literally, and in Mars is literally, in the money placement, by the way, tells me that he actually be slinging it to move up the ranks. Yes, yes, yes. Because take a look also at this super hot and fast placement, how it is all in pretty much the same house in a tie to the North Node. So it is all part of his destiny to be slinging it. Yes. And this Venus placement in Aries in the 12th house is so overshadowed by the sun because in traditional astrology, it is believed that that sun conjunction, Venus doesn't like the sun. Venus is burnt by the heat of the sun. Venus is not comfortable with that placement. It's not happy there. So Sun, Venus, Mercury, it means that that aspect of him, that loving part of him is not only impossible to tap, it is in Sun in Aries is the dominant placement. It prefers to, Sun only likes to be in Leo and Aries. Guess where it is? So not only is Venus overshadowed by being in its worst placement, Sun is in its best placement next to it. So obviously, and Sun Mercury. So again, burnt by the heat of the sun. This is someone who fights. Yeah. Somebody who falls in love with people he should not be. He be fighting. Do you understand? This is a not, and he identifies with that. That's him. He is a Piscean Aries. That's what that is. With Moon in the same 12th house. So this Piscean theme is actually, bro is like a Pisces sun and moon, actually. And that, except that moon placement is stable so that his sun is not so aggressive. But when he gets angry, I bet he has some issues. I bet he has trouble. Because look at that, also that tie to vertex, which makes me think that his mouth gets him into trouble. And his love, his interests, his pursuit of fast things. That's what that placement is too. Is like he likes them hard and fast. Okay, moving right along. Miss Gabby, big fan, huge fan, diva. First of all, come on, the face card alone could Helen of Troy. Okay, but maybe that's just my personal opinion because I share a lot of these placements, but I do not share this rising, and this rising is fantastical. So I want to go ahead and take a look. Uh, you can see this insane ascendant stellium here, which we see on her face, right? We just take a look at her and we're like, yeah. So we're seeing that Neptune beauty. We're seeing that Uranus on her ascendant, which is literally strange beauty and fortune, all in. And ironically, that's again in the first house. So both her and Matty have that Jupiter first house, which I think is so fascinating. There's a likeness there as well, that that other people look upon them or their bodies, and they're considered fortunate for their bodies. They have a Zeus forward kind of appearance, like they look as though they would be Zeus like. So someone that will, so a bitch, I guess, both of them. But there's almost like a twinness there that feels kind of cosmic, right? Something interesting. Also, union in the first house, in the house of Pisces, with Ceres, protected union. So her marriage, her future partnership will be evident on her person. So I mean, this is someone who currently has risen to fame because of her partnership. So I don't even think that that's a crazy thing to assess, especially once they're partnered. Um, she'll have like the ring, or she'll have tattoos dedicated to him, kind of a thing. Like that's a good example of how this placement might play out, right? Let's go to the degrees. So looking at the degrees, immediately I'm noting some things. I have this stinky, stinky second degree Mercury placement as well. Fame. Scary. Very scary placement. I will get into that. And I also saw, I also have this, a Pluto second degree. Where is it? Opposite. Where is it? 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 It should be square. There it is. In Sag. Yeah, with that stinky square, that exact square. Girl, I have it. I know how you feel. And oh, the fifth degree moon, which I want to point out, which is so silly, but I want to bring this up. Yeah, this fifth degree moon. And I saw one more second degree placement that had me kind of like gasp. Did I see like something crazy? Like Saturn? Oh no, 23. No, we're good. Is that it? Yes. Okay, great. Okay. So first of all, fifth degree Gemini moon. Now, according to the degree theory, this placement of fifth degree is supposed to be like worldwide eroticism. If you can't see me dink dink blinking, do feel that way. Now, the doctor himself got that from Marilyn Monroe's chart because of the amount of fifth degree placements that she has, especially in her like not only work but like IC and MC placements or something crazy like that. So this idea, I think I struggle with personally, because as someone with this exact moon placement, and the moon, by the way, is in Rohini. It's a Rohini moon, which is actually technically Taurus for Indian astrology, but is the rulership of like the Alice in Wonderland placement and Tim Burton, which gives her, as you can see, this very Tim Burton look. That's where that placement comes from, is that in addition to this Venus placement over here, which is at the sixth degree, but it actually would be, in traditional Indian astrology, would be in Leo and not in Virgo, which is in Magha. Again, I know this because I have it, Magha, which again is that Tim Burton look. If you want more information on that, you can go to Claire Nocti on YouTube. She basically has a doctorate in astrology. She's one of the smartest, most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. And if you wanted to look into the more aggressive, serious Jyotish placements, the Nakshastra placements, you can go ahead and Look her up, Dr. Claire Nocty. She's not a doctor. She should be, because every single one of her videos is like an hour and a half long, and it is basically a dissertation. So you can go ahead and do that, but just know that these, I understand these placements. So this Alice in Wonderland vibe, this Tim Burton look, this Dita Von Teese feeling, and in addition, I also have these like Lilith, yeah, the Lilith placement she has, which is right there. I just, sorry, Sowwy, there, and this North Node. I got it, girl. And basically, my whole life has been determined and cut by this aspect of how I look in having this Lilithian appearance as well. So I understand empathetically how that feels. It is very much a projection, and when your love life blows up, it blows up explosively. Do you understand? With that square to Pluto, okay, my exes are psychotic. Understand that this is a person who has literally cut themselves through the muck and mud to get here, but all of these placements in this Juno descendancy, all on the descendant, makes her actually very much a mirroring person, someone who exists from relationships or finds identity through her relationships, because her rising sign is not the same as me. So all of these become seventh house placements. In my chart, they're not in the seventh house. So it really is an indicator that she was going to marry someone who showed all of the aspects of everything here. So someone who was Leo like, someone who was Venusian, someone who was a big speaker. Okay. And with Vertex right there too, it's like this person could also make or break. Like that I don't have Vertex there either. And that is crazy. That is so many placements. Like that's the kind of thing that Vertex on, I'm sorry, like Venus on a vertex is like if something happened to your love life, like you would self harm, like something happened, like something crazy. Like that's a very difficult, that's too much energy. And it creates, ironically, also with Mercury there, this feeling in them both of non-binaryism, aspects of playing against gender binaries, uh, and in the seventh house. So it reflects that the partner would be doing the same thing. Okay. Now, her North Node is in the eighth house. So exploring sex. Psyche here too is interesting because it's like, it's not just sex. There is a spiritual aspect, higher mindedness, like Psyche and Eros. Like Psyche was the human that was chosen by Eros, the god, who like was the son of Aphrodite, and he came down and was supposed to curse her because of his mother, but instead fell in love. And they spent their time together. Like her North Node is on that placement. Like there is an aspect here of her, not to say being rescued, but like other people coming down from the sky and taking her and like making her the star that she is. Like kind of ironically, like if you watch the documentary on Nasty Cherry, which was the band she was in, Charlie XCX put that together. So like how was she discovered even by Charlie XCX? Like this seventh house placement can also rule business ownerships, and Leo being art, play, also short flings. So business partnerships through all of those things. Performative marriage. And this fourth house moon, though, means that in reality, underneath it all, she is actually a homebody. Actually, she wishes she were home right now. I think that's so crazy. We look at this MC on the 24th degree, so Pisces degree. So not only that, we're also seeing aspects from her history of mental illness. So in Taurus, so mother mental illness, or like the female lineage in her lifetime have struggled through addictions or maybe drugs. Maybe she even does drugs in the house, like smoking weed in the house. Like that's very much that kind of placement. And then the 24th degree so projects that on the MC as well. So other people see that with Pluto at the top. So literally the point of she was going to explode. Her job was going to explode. 10th house Pluto. The job was going to explode her. Pluto is at the second degree, fame. It's almost as if astrology is real, but it's okay. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. I'm going to continue to sound like an idiot for us both. Especially, it's crazy when I'll bring it up at work. I'll be like, wow, it's so crazy how blank. And I sound insane. I sound insane. And then it happens. And then they start to be like, and I'm like, diva. Okay. Anyway, I also want to point out this really fun placement right here. So fortune in the second house at the what? 7th degree. 7th is what? Libra. Libra is what? Partnerships. Fortune is what? Money. Money in the money house from your marriage. From your body, Aries, in your marriage. Girl, please. The astrology is real. Okay, so now that we've looked at both of their charts individually and seen how they are acting according to destiny, let's look at them both, shall we? So now that we have them together and we've taken a good look at individual aspects, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Yeah, so we could start. I have here, this is Gabby's chart I have here in the first position, but I'm going to swap to the Matty one because I just feel like, not to say that you're a misogynist, but I just feel like you clicked on this because of Matty Healey and not because of my diva. I don't know why I feel that way. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swap to that version where he is here on the ascendant and she has her aspects laid out for him. Okay. And I'll break it up. Okay. All right. All right. So first up, his moon falls right conjunct the IC. Already he anchors her into the bottom of her chart. That's a great family placement. And also in the third house, which we can see here, of Gemini, which is communication, small distances, small travel, a lot of like phone calls, constant things. So he brings more communication and and business to her. More, does that make sense? He adds to her circle in the moon in the third house conjunct the IC fourth house. Now, he also has this really beautiful, they have this Jupiter moon conjunction. Really nice. Really nice synastry in the playing across the first and fourth house. So and it looks like this is also Gemini. So he helps expand her emotional sphere. He helps actualize her ideas and emotions and he makes them bigger. He comforts it. This is an expansive placement but it's in opposition here to Pluto. Now, that is a personal placement. I have that. A lot of people consider that Hades moon, that moon opposite Pluto. I didn't even know that until recently because sometimes this opposition to me should never be marked in red because it's not bad. Opposition is not actually bad. Opposition has a weird connection to each other. I would almost call it God-like because it's sometimes good, sometimes bad. It is very explosive, I would say, but it can be effective. Now, these placements show that with Pluto here in Sag, the connection of adding to her emotional sphere in the home and family will actually help explode her business and life work. So wow, how fascinating is that? So by bringing fortune, Jupiter, to her home, life, and emotional sphere, he is actually activating her 10th house of work. So she became famous. And remember, we know that this is at the second degree. So, and this is at this fifth degree, which is that sexy degree, theoretically. So this must be at the fourth degree, which is Cancer. So we're getting that emotional nurturing Cancer on Cancer vibes here because moon is Cancer in the fourth house, Cancer, even though it's in Gemini. So really nice aspect playing out there. But this opposition to Pluto in the 10th house could also mean that if something were to happen, like if things blew up or if the position was challenged, it would also challenge Pluto. So on the big sphere, on the fame sphere, this same issues would play out for everyone else to see. Okay. Now, that's also in his 7th house. So that would mean that her job, which is clock it, her job is falling where? In his 7th house. It is her job to be married to him. Clock it, clock it, clock it. It would mean that it would disrupt her job, period. That's what that Pluto placement is. Now, his Pluto placement is in the 6th house, his own personal 6th house, but it's her 9th. So exploration when travel. So it makes sense. She met him when Charlie XCX introduced them, 9th house. That's higher minded kind of connections in Scorpio. Sex. Mars. We'll look at that in a second. Playing out. And it really just gives to me like they met on the job and then like they went home together that night. Aries Venus. Aries Saturn. Holy shit, I'll get there in a second. Went home together that night and like that kind of like is the thing that ruined the Taylor Swift relationship, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like that that very much played out like a he met her one night and it changed everything kind of thing. Because this descent Pluto descendancy conjunction, it's like bam, you're hit all of a sudden, like all of a sudden other people see you and they have this like opinion. That's my opinion. And that is, from what I can gather, either it looks to be the 14th degree, which is Taurus, which is what? Love, baby girl. Now, we can see over here that the descendancy is ruled by Mars. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swap to the next page so we look at Mars. Yeah, so the descendancy is ruled by Mars. And we have what looks to be a loose moon conjunction Mars. It's almost giving, it's same sign. And it is same house, even though Fortune is playing in fifth, which I will bring up in a moment. So actually, oh, this is T. This is T. Oh my God. I feel like I know too much about them. Sometimes I hate astrology. Again, Villageidiotastrology, because I feel like I know too much about you already. So the moon, Mars, Fortune. Okay, he has Mars Fortune conjunction. Now, Fortune acts like mini Jupiter. So Fortune is expansive dick. So basically, bro is slinging it all over town. And we knew that. We knew that. That is not news to anyone. But with Moon here, it's almost as if in her fourth house, don't make me cringe. I'm sorry. I'm gonna breathe deeply. It's like giving that like it's giving like a little bit breeding fetish. A little bit. Giving that she knows exactly what to say to like get him hard. Now, he has part of Fortune in her fifth house, which means the fifth house controls what? Short-term flings and love affairs. Clock it, clock it, clock it. And also children. Clock it, clock it, clock it. Now, Jupiter in children means that he's going to be, their children are going to be blessed. He's going to give her children, clearly. Clearly, Diva. He's going to give her children. And now, if you remember from what I said earlier from his own chart, child being on vertex. So we actually know that actually his child placement is right there. So with her Mars there on his vertex, having sex with her and having a child with her literally will determine, will make the, and in the eighth house, fascinating, in the eighth house, in Libra, I guess that's her own placement, that she has an eighth house. I didn't even mention that. Eighth house Mars in Libra. Now, Mars and Libra can have sex with pretty much anybody. I know, I have this stuff. Mars and Libra is like equal opportunity. I'll be preferring to have it in partnerships, but to be honest with you, with that Gemini moon, I don't care. Now, I'm tied down, obviously, so I don't be doing it. I don't be swinging it all over town. You know what I mean? But this vertex placement just goes to show that having sex with her, it's giving like met same night, had sex, changed everything. Very much giving that, especially with child there too, though, because when that comes back around and they had the child, like literally the because that's going to be her passion. Her passion will be the service of the children. But eighth house is also like, I don't like that eighth house placement there, because that's almost like giving like, not a great karma placement. It's like sex, sexy children. Like I don't love that. Uh, so I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to leave that on some, whatever their children turn out to look like, they could turn out to be like very famous icons as well. But with this also Chiron placement right here on the aspect of her ninth house, this might also, again, I'm so sorry to give you this information. She might also have trouble giving birth. That ninth house is like the ruler, the ninth house cusp right there is kind of the ruler of the like if eighth house cusp rules pregnancy, the ninth house cusp is the giving birth point. And with Chiron right there, it feels like there could be something that like she might want to make sure that she's really, really safe when she gets pregnant and whatnot. Like that's, sorry, Gabby, if you ever watch this, no, I don't want to freak you out. It's not even that deep. I just want to point your attention towards that, because I want to be like, okay, I want to make sure you're super safety. But remember, you can disempower any of these issues by talking about them or understanding where they come from and then disempowering them. That's also in the degree theory book. I don't make that up. Okay. Now, on her, no, on his south node, wow. Oh, so they have opposing north and south node placements. Ironically, his is in his fifth house. Actually, the point in his life is to come out of the realm of small partnerships like hookups and children, and to move into the public sphere, to be very famous. And ironically, she brings him back to that old place. How crazy is that? She brings him back to that old place by having Venus there and Mercury there. It's like old energy, past life energy that actually he's trying to escape and move away from. But in reality, it's what she needs to move toward. So they might have some issues in the future, if I'm being honest, like longevity of the future of their partnership, especially with Pluto in his seventh house feels to me like a decision that will be made in the future will literally be a make or break point for their partnership. Like, for example, having a child would be a make or break point, or like something that she would want. And that has to do with work as well, like whether the work of her children, like they might grow up and end up being artists as well because they will be Matty Healey's children. So obviously they will also be Nepo babies because he is a Nepo baby. So they will be Nepo grandchildren. Neapolitan Neapolitan grandchildren. Do you understand? So, and of course, this placement also means like she had. I think it's interesting also because it's that Venus placement that's tied to Pluto. I don't know why it's not tied here, but it's tied to Pluto. Um, and she is marrying a foreign lover. He's British. She's from California. California, like a famous guy from California. Does that like how like her Venus in Virgo in the sixth house of work, meeting bro at work, right? Uh, Anything else I want to take a look at? I want to look at the chart from her perspective, see if I can see anything different. Yeah, so she has these Neptune first house place. Oh, it's actually 12th house, Neptune 12th house. So actually she finds, oh, Neptune cat at the 28th degree, which is Cancer. Yes. That, and but it's also considered bad luck. Those last few degrees are considered Jewish bad luck placements. So I have it too. That Neptune placement, ironically in her 12th house, means that she finds God in like the small spaces, in the confines of her home. She probably does the most praying and whatnot. You probably won't see her do spiritual aspects like out and about, but that's a very witchy kind of placement. That's the height of Neptune, but it also can create a lot of fog and like issues around. And look, it's in a wide square. It's a square here to his sun, Venus, and Mercury. She has the wool pulled over her eyes. She does not, what is it? It's projections. She has a very specific projection of her partner, and it is not exactly in line with who he is, not his love, not his person, and not even the way that he communicates. Whether that means she walks away and thinks about it a different way, or because she's in Neptune in 12th house is also things like modeling, because it's art behind closed spaces like cameras, or in liminal spaces, or in these Venusian aspects. Like all of those things make sense here. And he has a north node in her first house. He was brought into her life to build her. She became more of herself by meeting him. That was part of the point, was the guiding them. And actually, she did inadvertently end up making him more famous. She became an aspect of his job and work. She is well known enough now. She is on his personage. But this aspect too of this 10th house Uranus placements, she brought connections to his 11th house. So actually, she brought him connections as well in the end, because whoever she ended up going out to meet, whatever her body got famous for because of his job, her body got famous, literally. How crazy is that? Because of his work, her literal body, her physical body got famous. Now, that Uranus in his 10th house also means that people understand that at any point things could change. It feels like it is not on solid ground, and that's playing out across the public sphere. So that's why that Neptune, it's like foggy, but also love artists. They're so slay. They post photos, they were smoking weed, and she's just got her like ring, and they're so cool. Like, and I say that unironically because I do love this couple. I think that they are a fantastic, like, new age aspirational kind of aughts couple vibe. Like, I miss that vibe, so I appreciate it. Um, and this North Node, literally just to help her, like literally by knowing him, she has become more of herself. Her physical beauty has increased. Her interest has increased in her body and whatnot. And her own person is supposed to explore her. Her own person is supposed to explore the eighth house. So again, sex in Virgo. So these kind of images, these clean looks of like sex in a strange way, uh, playing out across the sixth house of work. Oh, look at that. There's that north node is to explore love and these aspects. And this south node is this place that he's moving away from. So, and it's all in her seventh house. So she actually might have a few partnerships. She's going to be considered a sex icon for a long time. And a lot of people are going to look after her and want to be around her. Now I want to look at comets real quick that I've included as well. So I have these degrees here. So we see here these Mercury degrees, Pluto, these all famous degrees. She has Psyche, make on her Venus, which also means money from love. Okay. Apollo on her sun in the seventh house. So her future partner is an Apollo type. And Apollo is what? Ruler of the sun, emo boy who goes across the sky in his chariot, singing songs, literally ruler of music. Clock it, clock it, clock it. Also, Rockefeller on her descendant. Oh my God. Her higher self cooked. Her higher self said, I'm going to make this life so fantastic. Other people literally bring her money. That's what that placement is. And it looks like it has Adonis there as well. So Rockefeller and Adonis. So other people come into her life as this amazing, like, beautiful thing and give her money. Her future partner is her partnership, Rockefeller conjunction. I'm sorry, stuffy. Is literally her Rockefeller descendant conjunction just goes to show that she'll make the most money from her partnerships. She has a more in Taurus, right by where his moon is, unless I am wrong. And she has Aphrodite in the 11th house and Boda in the 12th. Fascinating, which is her engagement. So an engagement behind closed doors. They will get engaged in the future in a private kind of ceremony, potentially in a business. Let me look at it. Do I have any other? Yeah, I have Dejanira. I want to say like Dejanira. Oh yeah, she has Destiny on the North Node, Child and Venus in the seventh house. Yeah, they're gonna have a kid together, and that's gonna be the thing that's gonna drive Matty Healey over the edge. Just know that. Oh yeah, 10th house. She has Muse in the 10th house, Lust in the 10th house, all work, and Nessus. So she is literally her appearance, her job is to look like an enemy, look like an arch nemesis. Literally all, but all of these placements are square. What, or actually, they would be trying his placements, so he would be drawn into all of those images of her as well. But it might not play out over time because look at it squaring also her Venus and Mercury in the seventh house. So actually, potentially, the more of a muse and lust icon she becomes, the more it actually upsets the love in her own partnership. It actually bothers. How interesting! That's crazy. In a yod to Neptune. So sometimes, like, and so that's also, and the Neptune 12th house is model aspects also, but also confusion. So sometimes confused, sometimes blessed by God. A lot of crazy things here. And industry in Aries, where his sun is. Industria in Aries, where his sun is, right there. You can see. I wish I could draw this right now, but Industria in Aries. So on his sun. So again, he's giving her opportunity for money. He brought her to the zeitgeist appearance, and fame in the fifth house, which means that their children are really going to be the well-known ones. Okay, I think I've tortured this enough. I feel pretty good. Hopefully you feel similarly. That's been an hour from me about these two and their astrology and about what I think is going to occur in the future. Do I think they will get married? Yes. Do I think it will last for a while? Yes. Do I think they will have a child? Yes. Do I think something will occur over the lifetime of the child? Yes. Yes. And potentially to Matty if he doesn't handle that well, especially with Neptune transits oncoming and then heading into his first house. That's what I think is to come. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, if you watch my whole video, that's crazy. First of all, thank you. Second of all, if you like this style video, please let me know. This is my first video. So I want to make a bunch of these. I want to keep doing this kind of content because this is so fun for me. So please leave a comment. Please subscribe. Please leave a like. Let me know if you like this sort of thing. And I hopefully will see you again real soon.